Good day, good people. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Adult Black Dad. I am your host, Marcus A. Smothers, and I am coming from the park again. This is a beautiful day here in Jacksonville. We are starting to get a little bit of cool weather, and anytime I can enjoy the cool weather, I am going to take advantage of it, and that is what I'm doing out here. So, next couple of episodes, I may just stay right here and do it. It's not cold like some other places, but here in Florida, Jacksonville, we have our opportunities where we get to pull out our beanies and our coats, and some people have already started pulling out their leather and their boots with the fur, because the whole club was staring at her. But it is what it is. So I'm excited. We are coming off of Thanksgiving break. I hope you all had an opportunity to spend time with your family, or if not, you just took a moment to just give thanks for whatever it was, even if it was just the fact that you were alive to see another day. Then that's just something to just stop, be thankful for, and reflect on. If you are watching this on YouTube, or the live version of this, you are seeing the sun is like coming out of the clouds, like right behind where I'm shooting at, which is very interesting because the sun hasn't really been out all day long. And now that I am shooting, the sun has decided to come out and make its presence known. And I'm just going to continue and just let the rays shine on me as I continue to record. All right. As a recap, for the past 2 weeks, two episodes, we were digging into an overall topic that dealt with inner vows. And remember, those inner vows are promises that we make to ourselves over the years based off of experiences, hurt, trauma, all of those different things are just life. And within that, we had two episodes that led into those that talking about protecting our peace and trusting ourselves and forgiving ourselves. I want to take a different shift to this episode and make it a little bit more light, a little bit more enjoyable. The rest of them are, but today I want to talk about an issue that all my dads, you extremely will be able to relate to me, and I hope I hear from you all throughout this conversation. Is dating. I think that's the thing, and not talking about dating for myself. I'm talking about dating for your daughters. Um, as you all know, I am a girl dad through and through. Um, I have my seven girls who are everything to me. They keep me motivated. They keep me driving on everything that I do. And the age range from all over. But the dating part of it is something that I don't think anyone prepared me for. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just your influence is not the only true male influence in your daughter's life at the time. And it's not to say that they don't listen to you or they don't do anything, but it's different when you are young and they're like liking boys and different things like that. But now it's like you're grown and you have your choice of who you like to date, who you don't want to date, and different things like that. And I've raised you a certain way. And I think one of the hardest and most realistic things, expectations that I had to change for myself is that, Marcus, you don't have to approve and or always like the person who your daughters choose to date and or be in a relationship with, because just how your parents did not approve and or like who you chose to date at certain times in your life, it didn't make you stop wanting to be with that person. It didn't make you just say, oh shoot, my mom don't like this person, boom, cut them off. Oh dang, my dad don't like this person, boom, cut them off. For some individuals, that dictated the certain relationships in our lives. But for some relationships in our lives, we wanted to be, or we were going to be with that person, in that person's life, regardless of how or what someone else said. And now I have to be on the other side of that as dad. And so what happens now is, and none of my girls are like in relationships with people I don't like, anything like that. I'm just looking at it from the lens of the level of influence that someone else can have, or another man or another guy can have in the person who you raised all your life. I'm used to being that the authority, the dad, the guy who said what is what, and now it's to the point where, okay, dad, but this is what I want to do. Okay, dad, but I love you. I believe what you're saying, but and I have to be okay with that. Like, parenting does not stop, or fathering does not stop because my child is, or my daughter is no longer a minor and they're grown. And so now it's like, you go off and do what you want to do. That's definitely not true. Because if that was the case, then my parents could have cut me off years ago. But there are moments right now for me, even at the age of 42, I still look to my parents for guidance. I still find my parents still trying to parent me, and sometimes I allow them to. It's nothing like going to, for me, my mom. I go to my mom's house. Anytime I go to my mom's house, there was a spot in the sofa. I always would lay on that sofa in that spot. Now there's a chair at my mom's house that it's my chair. And any of my family can hear this conversation or hear this episode, and they can beg to differ. I do not care. But there's a chair at my mom's house that belongs to me. And when I'm there, I get to sit in that chair. And my stepdad, he makes it, he backs me up on it. And he says, no, that's his spot. So he's the only person who can trump me when it comes to that seat at their house. He's the only one who I will defer, or not defer to, or move out of the way if he wants to sit there. But everybody knows that's that. So there isn't a point in life where I am no longer parenting my kids. I guess now it's at the point where it's more so of a suggestive parenting, if that makes sense. And as y'all see on YouTube, you're watching this, the sun is sunning, but we're not going to stop recording. There is a point where I am now doing suggestive parenting, where there was a point where whatever I said was law and automatically you just had to do it. But now it's one of those things where it's almost like optional. Like, you can continue to take my advice and move it to the side and keep going with what you choose to do. And now my responsibility has shifted. I can't now start to become aggravated and or treat you differently when you choose to make a decision for your life that I may not agree with. And I tell you right now, there has been lots of situations or decisions that my girls have made that I did not agree with. And it wasn't that they was just some egregious thing. It was just something that I was like, I don't think that's the best move right now. Or I think you should do something different or wait. But I have to always go back and consider myself. When I was growing up, when I was doing certain things, people tried to tell me and or warn me about certain things that I should or should not do. But I still did it anyway. And because I did not take heed to the wisdom that they were trying to give me, I had to allow life to now become my teacher. And it's the same thing now with my girls. I can give you game, I can put you on game, but now it becomes your decision to say, oh, shoot, I'm going to take what my dad said and I'm going to apply this now. I'm going to make this adjustment. Or you can say, nah, I'm going to act like I'm from St. Louis and I need you to show me. I got to see this for myself. And I can't start to be offended or now so much get in my feelings when you choose to go your own way. And I also, and let's say I try to warn you or I try to tell you about a situation, and this is where parenting and maturity steps right back up in. Let's say you decide to go into a situation that I told you not to do or not to go in, and you fall flat on your face, or you fail, you get hurt, or it don't work out the way you thought it was going to be. Now I have two choices. Choice number one, I can be petty daddy. I can go back and start, I told you not to do this. See what happened when you don't listen to me? If you would have just listened to what I said, if you would have just did this, if I decide to go that route, then now I'm jeopardizing the future of you having conversations with me. Now, I will tell you this. There has been situations in the past that have come up when my girls have made a decision that I did not like and I blew up. Or you did something that I did not agree with and I blew up. I had to learn from that. It started to put barriers up between us because you started to say in your mind, man, I can't tell dad nothing because if this is how he go act, I don't want to go through all that. Now I'm going through this same vicious cycle of what I used to go through when I was younger. I didn't want to tell my parents certain things because we would say what's on your mind, speak your piece, let us know how you feel. But at the moment when I did say how I felt, there were consequences that came with it. You know, I saw a video the other day on them like everybody else, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Reels, Instagram, and there was a video of this girl, like these are these kids, and they were at church and they wanted the kids to say their piece, say what's on your mind, say how you feel. And the little girl said how she felt about the situation, and they immediately started to attack her like she was the worst child in the world. I'm like, pump the brakes. You can't ask for people to be 100% honest with you, and then when they become honest with you, you start to bury them, or you just start to make them feel like they are the worst person because they trusted you enough to be honest, and now you are just casting them aside. Like that would make me, or shoot, it still makes me to this day not want to talk to people if I give you my authentic self and then you weaponize it against me. So I had to make that decision with my kids. Hey, say what you go say. And even if I have to bite my tongue, there were times I did not bite my tongue, and I'm sorry. I apologize to them. I'm apologizing again because I hope they listening to it. I have to bite my tongue, and I have to now respond the way I would want someone to respond to me. And not even bring up, oh, shoot, you did mess up. Just, all right. All right. Now be dad. How can I help you with this? What did you learn from this? Is there something that you need from me? And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned as being a dad is not always giving my girls what I think they need, but taking a moment and saying, how can I help you right now? At this moment, with whatever's going on with you, how can I support you? Because that breaks the entire situation. Because I'm not here as a judge, I'm here as a hand. I'm not here not to knock you down with my fist. I got my hand open because now, how can I help? So for this episode and for this season, it's more so talking about, my kids are not going to always agree, or I'm not going to always agree with the decisions that they make for their lives as they continue to grow up and become their own women. But I do have to always be there to support them. Even if I do not agree with a lifestyle choice you make. Now, there's just some things that are non-negotiable things that I'm not fit to help you sell drugs. Like, that's like, I'm not fit to help you do something that's going to land me in jail. I'm not fit to consciously just do certain things like that. But if it's a lifestyle choice that you just made, you decided you wanted to buy a certain car that I told you not to buy that car, or you want to go live, or you want to spend your money on something that I feel like you should be saving your money. Yeah, I do feel like you should be saving your money, but at the same time, you earned that money. Enjoy it. It may not make logical sense to me, but it's yours. So no one told me about this part. And, like I said, even in the dating sense of it all, I may not like all the dudes. I may not prefer them. No dude is going to be the perfect guy. I wasn't the perfect guy. But, it is what it is. So I can't have these unrealistic expectations where it's going to make my girls want to sneak around or not be straight up with dad because they feel like if dad don't agree with what I'm doing, then I got to hear it from him. So even as it comes to dating and things like that, does he respect you? Do you feel safe with him? Does he make you do things that you question? Is there a balance in situations? Are you always the one compromising in relationships? So I have to start asking those type of questions. And I never want it to be about the person, but about the character of the person. The race is not, that's not the big concern. I can't cut you off because you decide to do another race. Like, come on now. Because are you happy? Does he bring addition to your life? Those are the types of questions that I'm learning that I need to find out versus these surface questions that really don't hold any weight. So today, I just wanted to get that out. I just had to get that out today. And there's a lot more from it all, but I appreciate y'all sitting through this episode with me because I really want to make sure that we are communicating. We got to communicate better and effective. I want to say better. I want us to be able to communicate effectively with our children or with our friends and different things like that. So I appreciate you all rocking with me today. Again, always, please like, share, subscribe, share this out with somebody. We're continuing to grow. We probably have one more episode that I'm going to drop this year. And I think that episode is around Christmas week or something like that. But we'll figure it out. But we definitely got one more episode to drop. Again, if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, go check us out. I appreciate you all rocking with me. I'm out. Yo.